It's Monday. This week on Good Morning Muscles, we're going to be reviewing all of our movements and all the skills we did on our skills challenging class. What do you say? Get up and move it!
Good morning, sun. How are you? Skies above. Gee, it's great to be alive and love. Good morning, sun.
Alright, for our warm-up all week long, we want you to get outside and jog. And jog as much and as long as you can without stopping, without walking. Well, what I want to do is I want to remind you of all of our movements. So when you first start off, if you have tons and tons of energy, you can start off by running, just like it says up there. But then eventually you're going to get tired, and when you get tired of running, you should fast jog. And when you fast jog and you start to get tired, you should normal jog. And when you normal jog and start to get tired, you should slow jog. And then when you slow jog, if you can't slow jog anymore, you may fast walk. But there's a big X over the word walk, because you don't want to walk and you definitely don't want to stop. The faster the movement you choose, the stronger you're going to get. Now, go outside and jog.
It's game time.
Alright, for game time this week, we are reviewing all the movements and all the skills that we worked on when we did our movements and skills challenges in class a little while ago. Today, we're going to review all the movements first. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to teach you how to do each movement again so that you can be an awesome mover. First, let's start off with skipping. For you to skip, remember, you're going to get your knee up nice and high, and it's going to be a hop on this foot, hop on this foot, hop on this foot, hop on this foot. And you're getting your knees up nice and high, and you're switching which foot's in front. So this foot's in front, then this foot's in front. That's how you skip. So, pause the video, practice some skipping for a minute. Next, let's talk about galloping. To gallop, you're going to put one foot in front, your toes and belly button are going to point the way you're going to go, and you're going to gallop just like this. And you move forward when you gallop. You keep this foot in front the whole time. Pause the video, practice your galloping for a minute. Next, let's talk about hopping. Hopping is when you stay on one foot, and you have to be very strong. So pick a foot and hop on it, just like this. Hopping is always on one foot, and you have to be very strong to stay on that same foot. Pause the video, practice hopping for 30 seconds on this foot, and then 30 seconds on this foot. Up next, let's talk about sliding. To slide, it's very similar to galloping, except you move sideways. So my toes and my belly button are going to point that way. I'm going to move this way sideways, like this. Both of my feet go in the air. Now I'll slide this way. I don't want to drag my foot like this. This is sometimes what people do. Both your feet go in the air, and you have to make sure you're moving sideways when you slide. You don't want to move like this, because then instead of sliding, you're galloping. So it's really, really tricky. All right, pause a minute, pause the video, and practice your sliding for 1 minute. Up next, let's talk about jumping. For jumping, you always use 2 feet, and you want to keep your feet together and jump just like keeping your feet together. Go ahead, pause the video, and practice your jumping for a minute. All right, up next, let's talk about the crab walk. The crab walk is very challenging. You have to be very strong. For the crab walk, you're going to move like this with your belly button pointed toward the ceiling, but you have to be very strong and not let your bottom touch the ground. You can go hands first like Mr. Fallon is, or you can go feet first like Mr. Fallon's doing now. Whatever works best for you. I challenge you to try to pause the video, do the crab walk, and see how far you can do it without your bottom touching the ground. All right, up next, let's talk about the bear walk. Very similar to the crab walk. This time, instead of your belly button pointing toward the ceiling, your belly button is going to point towards the ground. And you're going to do the bear walk just like this. And again, you're trying to be very strong and not let your knees touch the ground when you do the bear walk. All right, go ahead, pause the video, and see how far you can do the bear walk without your knees touching the ground. And our final movement is the injured dog walk. We saved the most challenging one for last. For the injured dog walk, you're going to use two hands and one foot has to stay in the air the whole time. I'm going to be like this, and I'll do the injured dog walk, just like this. All right, go ahead, pause the video, see how far you can do the injured dog walk without your other foot touching the ground.
Good morning, Waffles.
Boys and girls, nice job with all those movements. Did you pause it and do each movement for a minute? If you did, congratulations. You're getting so much stronger. If you want some more practice with those movements, you could check out the playlist, and there's a whole playlist on each one of those movements separately, giving you tons of challenges. Be back here tomorrow. We're going to talk about throwing. We're going to talk about catching. It's going to be fun. See you back here tomorrow. Muscles!